Weather Extra. The chance for showers and a possible storm returns by the middle and end of the week. We're on your side with how much rain we're expecting and if that could bring cooler temperatures for the weekend.
Plus, we take a look back at the devastating tornado outbreak of 1998. Remember the lives lost and those who were impacted.
And we're on your side with the best health tips on how you can prevent allergy flare-ups during these high pollen days.
Live on your side. First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
And thank you for staying with us for Weather Extra. Tonia joins us again. You're talking about allergy flare-ups. Look, listen, I've been battling it here for the past couple of weeks.
You really have. So maybe a little bit more rain this week will do you some justice.
Yeah, hopefully. So, the rain really did help us out. We'll check out that allergy forecast coming up, but it does look like, at least for now, the tree pollen levels have backed off. But we'll show you more on that. Right now, what we need to talk about, speaking of plants, so you need to protect the plants because we've got frost, freezing temperatures on the way for tonight. A big first alert for lows tonight, as cold as 29 for some areas. So very cold out there early tomorrow morning. We've got freeze warnings north and east. Right now, though, temperatures, of course, no issues at the moment, well above freezing. We have 60s and 50s out there. But if you want to get a walk in this evening, just know you'll want to grab the jacket because at sunset time here, these temperatures drop quickly out there tonight. It is so dry. Look at this, some snow on the map across parts of New England, back in the Great Lakes region. So we got some cold weather across a good part of the country. You can see how that cold air is really locked in here across the eastern third of the nation. But there is some warmer weather we're seeing building back to the south and west that will start to take over going into Thursday. But you can see the counties highlighted where we have freeze warnings. These are frost advisories that we have in place further south. Even though we're not expecting freezing temperatures or sub-freezing temperatures to the south, we're still going to have some frost early tomorrow morning. So make sure any sensitive plants, again, are well protected. Everything's all bloomed out right now, so just protect from the cold early in the day. But we will warm up nicely. That's the good thing about this time of year. We'll have highs tomorrow close to 70 during the afternoon. Actually, tomorrow looks like a beautiful day. Thursday, most of the day looks good, but check this out. This is Thursday night. We got another line of rain and storms that's going to push south. Right now, there is a very low end risk that we could see a strong storm out of this, some gusty winds, maybe some hail producers, but this moves through quickly. That's 9 o'clock. Look at this. That's 11 o'clock, and it's mostly through the area. So it just sweeps across. It's another cold front, and basically what this does, dries things out coming up for Friday and for the weekend. And how about a nice sunny weekend on the way? Saturday and Sunday looks very nice. But again, that risk for severe storms, it's not zero, but you can see it's low. But we need to monitor the radar trends there. 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock to the north, 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock. And actually, the model data shows that line from Tuscaloosa to Bessemer, Birmingham, right around Minor, back over towards Birmingham and back in towards Gadsden and Cherokee County, right there around 10 o'clock, and then pushing south of there by midnight. So we do expect that to move through fairly quickly. So that's the next big thing we're going to be talking about after the colder weather. And how about rainfall totals out of this? The model data not overly impressive because, listen, I know we've had 3-4 inches of rain in some areas over the past couple of days, but this looks like we might pick up maybe a ½ inch of rain in a lot of locations out there. But just as if that pollen does try to pick up here next couple of days, hopefully that rain will also help to settle things down. But we'll keep a watch on that risk. Certainly a low-end risk, Tonia, but nothing like the event that happened 27 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Listen, Wes, let's talk more about it. Do you remember this? It's been 27 years since the devastating tornado outbreak of April 8th, 1998, which brought 3 large tornadoes across parts of central Alabama. The most impactful tornado of the event bringing significant damage to the Oak Grove area here in Jefferson County, which was the strongest at the time that the state had seen since 1977. It traveled for 30 miles and at its largest was more than half a mile wide. On the Fujita scale, it was ranked at the strongest level of an EF5 before the introduction of the enhanced scale. More than 1,000 homes were destroyed, and it caused 32 fatalities with more than 250 injuries. An F3 tornado was reported in Tuscaloosa County and F2 tornado across St. Clair County that same day. And as we have seen an active weather pattern this year, according to the National Weather Service in Birmingham, our current statewide tornado count for the year is, get this, 41. After this past weekend's storms, last year we reached our 41st tornado June 5th. And across the country, according to the Iowa Environmental Mesonet, which is a partner of the National Weather Service, this year currently ranks as #1 in tornado warnings since 1986. 1,149 tornado warnings have been issued so far. Crazy.
Yes, a lot of warnings out there, Tonia. And right now we want to switch gears, talk more about the pollen that's impacting the area. And just to show you the tree pollen levels at last check back into the medium range at this time, as well as grass pollen levels. But forecast shows next couple days that tree pollen is going to ramp back up into the high category. But for many of you, like me, who may suffer from allergies, but also asthma, meteorologist Matt Daniel joins us now with the Weather Extra on what you should do during allergy season to prevent from feeling sick.
Well, it's allergy season. Pollen is everywhere. And for a lot of us, we have those itchy, watery eyes, runny nose, but it also can cause even significant issues for those with respiratory issues such as asthma. Joining us today, I've got Dr. Elizabeth George. She has a specialty in asthma and allergy and an assistant professor at the UAB. So tell us all about this. Thank you for joining us, and tell us about how asthma and pollen and allergies combine and how that impacts people.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. What we know about allergies is that for those who are sensitized, meaning that if we test them in the allergy clinic, whether that be skin testing or blood testing, and they pop up positive to a variety of allergens, when those particular allergens are blooming, they can cause problems. We know that our classic allergy symptoms like nasal congestion, postnasal drip, itchy runny eyes are problematic. But for those patients that have coexisting conditions like asthma, and commonly allergies and asthma run together, they can have even more issues. And so we see that asthma can exacerbate or flare during these periods of time. Patients may experience cough and wheezing and shortness of breath. They may find themselves reaching for their rescue inhaler more frequently, reaching out to their doctor saying they're having trouble, maybe urgent care or ER visits. But what we know at the level of the lungs is that there's just more inflammation there. So the lungs are producing a lot of inflammatory factors. This leads to constriction of the airway. This leads to mucus production. And what the patient feels is just cough, chest tightness, wheezing, shortness of breath, maybe some difficulty with activity.
So what are some steps that they can do to sort of prevent that from happening? I know it's difficult when we have to be out and about when pollen's in full force. What are some steps that they can do?
Well, that's kind of one thing that you mentioned, which is yes, sometimes it's unavoidable, but we ask patients if you can during your pollen allergy seasons, if, for example, you're allergic to trees, which blooms in the spring, or grasses or weeds, which bloom at different times of the year, try to stay in as best as you can. Be sure to kind of clear off the clothes that may be covered in pollen that we can't see when you enter back into your home. Some patients may even shower when they come back. And other than those kind of allergen mitigation strategies, being on your allergy medications like antihistamines, those are tablets you can get over the counter, nasal sprays. And then at the level of the lungs, we say, hey, if you have asthma, be sure to be taking your inhaler. Make sure you're taking it at the right dose, at the right times, with the right technique. And if there's any confusion on any of that, bring your inhalers with you to your clinic visits. Ask for a clinic appointment, bring them with you, and let's go over them together. Because we know that good inhaler technique for those of our patients that have asthma can really make or break their experience with dealing with things like pollen and pollution and stuff like that.
Well, in 30 seconds, we tell you what you can expect as you head out the door to various events this week. And get this, we're heading up to Rocket City, where they're unveiling a new exhibit about the wonders of weather. We'll be right back.
An hour by hour forecast. Getting you ready for this evening here. You can see by 9 to 10 o'clock, we're down in the 40s. Make sure you adjust that thermostat before you head off to bed tonight, or it's going to be cold in the house early tomorrow morning. We got lows down into the 30s, light freeze north and east most likely. You can see those forecast temperatures. Tomorrow morning, wind as low as 29 in some of these areas. We won't stay there for long. The big thing is make sure those plants are protected out there tonight, because this is going to be a widespread frost that we're expecting across the state of Alabama tonight, and especially across our entire area. But cold start, nice warm up coming for the afternoon, up to 70 tomorrow. High temperatures over the next several days, not too bad. Notice how we kind of cool off a bit Friday into Saturday, cooler days. That's because of that cold front that's going to come in here Thursday night. Could generate a few storms. We're going to talk more about that chance again, walk you through that forecast data coming up on Weather Extra.
Well, thanks, Wes. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about some events that you can enjoy over the next couple of days, starting with your Friday. Maybe you want to head out to the Mercedes-Benz Amphitheater out in Tuscaloosa. Temperatures won't be too bad. It's going to be pretty decent, but you will want a sweater or jacket if you're out there, because the skies will be clear and temps will begin to fall into the lower 50s and eventually upper 40s by the end of that concert. But that's again this Friday starting at 8 p.m. It's the Theo Von concert. Now, look at that. Here we are looking at that Red Shoe Run. This is Saturday starting at 8 a.m. You will also want a sweater and a jacket, especially if you're just cheering on the runners, because if you're not moving, you're going to be pretty cold. We're going to start off with temps in the upper 30s, 7 a.m. By the time we reach that 9 o'clock hour, we're talking about mid to upper 40s, but plenty of sunshine with improvements in those temperatures approaching your Saturday afternoon. And last but not least, Birmingham's Spring Festival put on by Mayor Randall Woodfin. We're looking at Sunday. This starts at 1 o'clock and it's right outside of Railroad Park. 7 a.m. it will be chilly. 8 o'clock, low 40s. And again, we're going to see temperatures rebounding for the afternoon. Oh, that event is in the later afternoon, so just keep that in mind. But hey, if you're having plans to be out there in the late afternoon for that event, things will be a lot better. By 1 o'clock, we're talking about some upper 60s, low 70s. But still, a sweater and jacket will do you just fine as you're out there for any later evening hours. But at the beach, it looks great. The afternoon's beautiful. Saturday, upper 60s if you're heading down to Gulf Shores this weekend, low 70s on Sunday. And again, plenty of sunshine. Well, speaking of events, if you're headed on a little road trip, your Mickey Ferguson is in Huntsville, where he talks about the newest exhibit at the Space and Rocket Center that will take you to the wonderful world of weather.
Hey, Mickey Ferguson here with Weather Extra. I am at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama. There's a new exhibit here called How We Know the Weather, put on by the Barron Institute, and I just happen to have the man himself, Bob Barron, over here to explain what we can experience in this awesome display.
Mickey, I go back to the days that I was in TV.
Yeah.
And used to really derive a lot of enjoyment out of visiting schools and talking with the youngsters, third and fourth graders, about how we know the weather, particularly a focus on instrumentation and how we use that to understand this interaction between the sun and the earth. We wanted to kind of extend into the life of young people as well as older on how we know the weather and the very fascinating aspects of weather in all its different areas.
Just as an overview, what are we going to experience as we walk through this exhibit?
Well, I hope you'll get this general understanding that all weather is the result of the interaction of the sun and the earth, and that over time we've invented instrumentation that told us or helped us to measure that interaction between the sun and the earth. And again, over time, those instruments got more and more sophisticated, and ultimately we moved into the digital age of radar and satellite and lightning detection. And all of that goes together to understand what's going on and supply services to everything that happens on Earth. There's a little area in there where we look specifically at water, oceans, on land, on the air, and on space, all areas that are affected by weather.
Well, we're going to be spending time in this exhibit over the next few weeks. There are a series of vignettes And we just happen to have the man himself, Bob Barron. He's going to be walking us through this exhibit to explain what you can experience yourself if you travel up here to Huntsville at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. Bob, we look forward to spending some time with you, sir.
And I do too.
Okay. For now, for Weather Extra, I'm Mickey Ferguson.
And just to point out, Mr. Bob Barron developed some of the most sophisticated storm tracking technology in the country that we utilize here also with our systems at WBRC. Well, we continue to talk about that freeze warning for your Wednesday morning and share some of your weather photos sent in to us through social media and the First Alert Weather app. Check out that view from DeSoto Falls. We'll see you back here with the 10-day forecast after the break. All right, let's talk about the weather extra on this forecast. And first off, tonight, we know it's going to be cold out there. We have frost, freezing temperatures in the morning. Watching Thursday, the Storm Prediction Center, they've placed a marginal risk. It's almost routine with any threat of storms that we see around here. We're watching for the possibility of a line of rain and storms that's going to push through Thursday night. So until then, we got dry weather. Again, tomorrow morning, 30s out the door. I think the coldest location, Coleman, some of those areas along 278, we may drop into the upper 20s, but the rest of the day a big warm up, highs around 70. Other than the cold start, tomorrow is going to be an absolutely gorgeous day. It won't be too windy, calm conditions. So if you have plans tomorrow, you picked a good one. It's going to end up being a very nice day. Just bundle up in the morning. Thursday morning, it's still cold, but not as chilly. You can see 39 at Gadsden, 48 around Birmingham, 44 in Tuscaloosa. The winds will pick up out of the south direction by lunchtime and then shift around to the west later in the day or southwest. And then by 3 o'clock, you can see we might have a couple of showers to the north. This is that next front. You can see it shows possibility maybe a few showers trying to ease by across North Alabama. But the main line with this pushes south around 9 to 10 o'clock. Actually, this model shows, this is the graph, it shows around 9 to 10 o'clock, that line roughly from Tuscaloosa to Birmingham to Gadsden. This is what we got to watch for, maybe a couple storms with some gusty winds, maybe some hail producers as that moves south. You can see that the main line is down into the southern part of the area by 11 o'clock. So by midnight, this is out of Clinton. This is south of Rockford and Sylacauga, south of Greensboro, Centerville. So this is out of here, south of Shelby County by midnight. And then after that, we do have some cooler air that returns. It's sort of a reinforcing shot of cooler air. We'll see those lows. As you can see, Friday morning, there's going to be some 40s out there early in the day, but the rest of the day on Friday, we'll have sunshine. Afternoon highs around 67 degrees. Then for Saturday and Sunday, beautiful weekend coming up. We'll have chilly mornings, but just a classic spring weather. What you would expect Saturday morning, low 40s, afternoon highs in the 60s. Sunday, low 40s, afternoon highs in the low 70s. Monday, we could touch 82 degrees. Big warm up in the early next week. You see that. And it looks like for the middle of the week and heading into Good Friday, a chance that we could see some more clouds, maybe a few showers coming back towards the end of next week. The model's suggesting we might see a little bit of rain later in the week. But watching Thursday, that's going to be the next big chance for rain that we do see with that front. Had a great time today with great weather. It was a great day for a visit. All smiles over at Trinity United Methodist Church. Had a great time there speaking to the 50-plus group there today and talking a little bit about weather safety and weather awareness. Of course, we've had plenty of that here recently with all the storms moving through, which everyone was certainly happy about. Nice weather coming up this weekend, and nice to see that, Tonia, we have some sunshine coming back. I just want to let folks out there know, if you go to our website, and for any group you want us to come visit, if you go to Weather in the Classroom as well on our page, we're still setting up some school visits. Have some of those coming up as well.
Oh yeah, Wes, listen, the team is ready to be booked and busy.
Yeah, we keep that calendar full. Listen, well, at least the weather's calming down right now, but we need to watch Thursday, that chance for some storms. But just looking ahead towards Easter weekend, that next Friday, maybe a few showers. What are the models still saying around Easter Sunday?
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
All right, let's go beyond the 7-day. We'll start off right here looking at our temperature outlook. April 16th through the 22nd. This is 8 to 14 days out from now. Looking across the U.S., you can see across the Northeast more below average temperatures. Much of the West Coast and I would say the middle portions of the United States dealing with above average temperatures, but we're going to be more near average as we get closer to that Easter weekend here across central Alabama, which means highs in the 70s. So that means still pretty warm, even if it's near average. As far as our precipitation, as we zoom in here across central Alabama, looks like we'll also be right around where we typically are this time of the year, or at least around April 16th through the 22nd. More near average rainfall is expected. But I kind of want to walk you through those next rain chances over the next couple of days. Let's talk about it. Here we are looking at the chance for some wet weather around, I'd say Friday. That's April the 18th. That's Good Friday. This is the weekend before, or the Friday right before your Easter weekend. Looks like some showers across central Alabama. There could be a thunderstorm in the mix, but as of right now, Easter weekend is now shaping up to be dry. So we're going to watch that next system. I do think rain as far as next weekend is trending around Friday more than Saturday and Sunday. So hopefully it holds off that way so that you can enjoy a dry Easter day. Here we are looking at April the 22nd. Looks like a few showers could be possible around. That's the week after Easter weekend there, but that's beyond the 7-day for us. And it looks like another system could be trying to develop out to our west that we'll watch very closely. But don't go anywhere. That's that beyond the 7-day forecast. We'll take another full look at our 10-day right here at the end, and we're going to look at some of your weather photos after the break. All right, Wes, we have some weather pictures. This one, Sharon Gill, sunrise
Yeah,
on
Sharon.
Lay Lake.
Yeah, Sharon always sharing some of those lovely views there from Lay Lake. Kim Smith with the sunset over Calera. Nice puffy clouds there and nice rays breaking through. Nice to see a little sunshine today.
We love the pink skies too. This is a sunset in Childersburg by Sue Dobbs. Thank you so much.
And a rainbow over Red Mountain from R.J.
pretty.
Jones.
I missed it. When was that?
Looks like I was trying to see if our tower was there. Maybe it's a little to the
Gorgeous.
left of that photo.
This last one, Wes, from Brittany Davis, rainbow over Briarfield. Oh, we missed the rainbow. I missed the rainbow.
Lovely rainbows out there. Everything's so green. I mean, it's spring. It's here. And
Yeah.
we're going to be talking about some warmer afternoons. But again, an alert for freeze tonight. We'll have more updates first at 9.
Have a good evening. I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's get that 10-day forecast on. Hey. All right, in 3, 2. Hey there, everyone. First Alert meteorologist Tonia Michelle here. We're looking at that 10-day forecast. Not too bad for this week. We are watching some cold mornings and, yes, a first alert for some storms and possibly some rain moving back into the forecast, mainly Thursday and into early Friday morning. Again, a few storms can't be ruled out. Damaging winds and hail will be our main threats or impacts. Overnight lows into early Friday, a little bit milder into the 50s, but highs Friday, upper 60s, with some chilly mornings even for the weekend. Low 40s Saturday and Sunday. The afternoons will still be very pleasant. Plenty of sunshine, tracking a dry weekend. Make those weekend plans. Next week looks pretty great. 82 for Monday as an afternoon high, and it looks like rain could return later into next week and possibly impact Good Friday next Friday. That is the weekend or the Friday before the weekend of Easter. If you're looking for more forecast updates to plan those Easter plans, make sure you download the WBRC First Alert Weather app.